Yeah, this is a video response to a show that sucks. Keeping the conversation going a little bit more. He talked about when choosing a distro, looking at the community, and you're exactly right about that. And that's because that's where you end up really going for help, asking a question. About a year ago, my brother was kicking around trying out. He was trying to revive an older computer. I recommend he use Linux to do that, and I told him that hey, Google is your friend when you're trying to do when you're trying to learn this, and that's really how I found a lot of things was found out a lot of things was by the Google search and looking through the Ubuntu boards, which, by the way, I think, my opinion, I think the Ubuntu community is pretty good for a lot of the reasons that you outlined. Yeah, there are a few snobs in there, uh, but by and large, they're very helpful. And if you ask the question in the wrong place, you'll generally get gently reminded, usually, or said, or told, hey, you really should ask the question over here. Here's the link. Or a lot of times a moderator will step in and say, yeah, this question really belongs over here, and they just go ahead and move the whole thread. And that's I think that's pretty helpful. And, and no, I don't want this to turn into a distro on distro bash session because I think they have their strengths and weaknesses and appeal to different kinds of users. Uh, Something you said in your PM to me about the average user, and this is something that I want to point out here. Uh, your average, I think your average Linux user is not necessarily your average computer user. And what I mean by that is just by, and I know a while back, had a discussion about market share and whatnot, and how to accurately judge that. But by any measure, any method of determining operating system market share and which gets used the most, Microsoft Windows still rules the desktop. So, by default, just sheer power of numbers, the average computer user is a Windows user. And I'm not saying that Windows users are dumb or anything like that by any stretch of the imagination. I won't. I'm not here to criticize someone for using Windows, but and there's plenty of technically oriented Windows folks out there, really smart Windows folks. Uh, but I mean, your average Windows user sits down, they expect a computer to work, and they're not gonna be too concerned about optimizing the OS or tweaking it or doing anything else, which is a little bit different. I work in a technical field, and honestly, I came to Linux out of curiosity, and kind of stayed with it because I didn't want to go down the whole Windows Vista route. And and I like it. I use it. And it's my primary operating system at home. At work, I still live in a Windows world. I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with Windows. Uh, being said, I don't think you can. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that thought. But in any event, yeah, I think your average Linux user is different. Not smarter, not better looking, or anything like that, but different from your average computer user. I think your average Linux user is going to be someone who likes playing around with computers, who likes tweaking things, who likes customizing things the way they want to do it. And Linux gives you the freedom to do that no commercial OS does. And that's why I like it, and that's why I use it, and that's why I'll continue to use it. Now, going back on the distro thing, Ubuntu and the Ubuntu community has taken a beating from the larger, older Linux community because as distros go, Ubuntu is a new kid on the block. It really is. And it has gotten very big very, very fast. Red Hat and your Red Hat based distros like uh, uh, and your Red Hat derived distros like Mandriva have been around for a long time. Uh, you know, Debian, from which Ubuntu is based, has been around for a very, very long time. Uh, and those have established communities, and those communities have kind of look at Ubuntu as sort of an upstart. So, and and Ubuntu users and Ubuntu developers have taken some hits for dumbing down things, which I don't know if that's a valid argument or not. I think anything that makes Linux more user friendly, gives it a wider appeal to a wider audience is a good thing. I thought maybe, I thought maybe that the when the netbooks came out in that form factor, and a lot of them came out with different flavors of Linux on them, I thought that would be something that would expand it to a wider audience, but then that didn't happen for a lot of reasons. People bought the things, and it wasn't Windows, it wasn't what they were used to, and of course Microsoft came in and sold XP licenses to those to the netbook manufacturers at a loss, and you know that sort of killed that. So I'm kind of hoping with the Android thing that will get Linux, and Linux will find its place, I think, on the mobile platform. And of course, it already has its place. And chances are, and most people don't even realize it, but their home Wi-Fi router probably runs Linux. Most people don't realize that, but it probably does. So, anyway, that's so much for my rambling. Uh, Hope you post it. Thanks for watching.